All right, guys. I'm Trey Hamrick with Titan Realty, and this is Roger Johnson. He's one of my investor buddies. Today we're going to walk through and check out some new listings, some old listings, just some potential good fits for first-time home buyers or potentially investors.
Can't wait to see what you got for me today.
We got a good list. I think we got about 10 homes on the list today. So we're going to start. This one is 115 West Neal Ranch in Mooresville. It's a nice Meritage home, 2,000 square feet. The biggest thing that I really liked about this one was that it's got this unfinished basement.
Good value add there for sure, right?
So this one has a lot of opportunity for growth, I think. Look at these. I like the countertops.
For sure. 4 bedroom, 3 bath. It's a decent sized family too, right? It does have that North Carolina backyard, which is maybe one downfall to it, right? A lot of those properties built in some of these communities have a smaller backyard, but there's also some room there for dogs and things, so could be a good rental.
Oh, look at
Oh,
this.
nice. Yeah.
Interesting.
Look at all that space though. Really could do a nice value add down there, maybe an in-law suite or something.
Could be a good base level. Wonder what someone would make this into other than obviously they looks like they've got it as a driving range or some type of
Yeah.
golf simulation. That's interesting. I
Yeah,
love the
easily do a
outside.
value add for that. What would a rental rate for something like that be, Trey?
For this one, close to 2,000, 2,300,
2000.
right around
Does that
there.
does this fee fit most first time home buyers criteria?
Yeah, really the 450 mark from what I see is kind of top of first-time homebuyers budget. Really the main criteria for today was just checking out homes around Lake Norman that were, or less, because that's really like if you have dual income, no kids, that's really where the top of what you can swing.
Interesting. Yeah,
I thought this was an interesting tool, interesting
definitely
place.
definitely a great starter home if you can get into that 450 number. What
Let's see what they've got
schools?
to say. So this one's in Mooresville. So it'll be Mooresville.
City school.
So they've got their rental estimate at 2260. Let's see. And it was last sold in 2021 for 370.
Surprising, something that I definitely see in a lot of the stuff that I've been viewing is the spreads are not as far from past solds, past.
Yeah,
And the thing that we saw, 2020, even some into 2021, some people were asking huge multiples, right? And
absolutely.
I don't know about you, but just in my investing research, I've seen quite a bit of that spread kind of up, definitely pivoting to the buyer side leverage.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the times what we see is this price per square foot. Once you start to get towards like you really start to get out of the mark for what a lot of people can afford, especially on the first time home buyer front. When it comes down to like custom built homes, you can really push 300 a square foot just because of the custom build, the specific requirements that people want.
Sure.
So
Does
this
that
one is East Mooresville. It's basically Mooresville graded schools.
now does that square footage estimate that you have right there when calculating it as a first time home buyer, just things for them to look out for, that finished square footage, is that including what we saw in the basement that did not have the
No,
finished space?
no. So that's for heated living square footage.
Right. So inevitably a great value add from my background, the investor side of it, right? If I can now get my dollar per square foot number probably down lower,
Yep.
just based off of I'm going to get the influx if I do renovate that space down there and do the value add to it, depending on what it has.
And looking at the basement, it looks like it's pretty much the same size as the main level. So is this a one and a two-story home? So you probably got another 1,200 square feet down there at least,
Awesome.
I would think.
Awesome. Yeah. If you want to take a look at it, they can definitely reach out to you with your details will be in the description, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What else you got for us today?
The next one up is 126 West Thomas Street.
Now, these are all new listings, right? These are all listings that have just recently come on the market.
Some of them are new listings. Some of them I found that I just thought, they've been on the market a little bit longer. I thought that for the price that they're offering, would be absolutely worth taking a look at. There's another one that I thought would be a really great first time home buyer build. It's again 225. It's a two bed, one bath, 800 square foot in Troutman though. The Troutman's a really desirable area because you're really close to I-77. You're really close to I-40. I'm sorry, I-40, not I-77, but you are not far from I-77.
Yeah, the exit. There's
Exit
a Troutman
42.
exit. Yeah.
This house, even though it's an older home, has definitely been renovated and updated. You can tell, I think it was a 19
Wow.
build.
Yeah.
Would say that their price per square foot is a little high, just from my opinion. You do get half an acre and you do have no HOA here, so that's big value add, amount of savings there. But this could be a great first time home buyer spot just because of simple, a whole lot to maintain. If you're single or just got married, it could be a really great opportunity.
From the investor side, what does Zillow give us as a rental number?
For rental number, let's see what they say. They say 12, right around 1300.
Interesting.
I do think that's a good deal though. They're asking 225, his estimate's 220. Only been on the market for 13 days. So it's
Definitely a starter home, right?
yeah,
Two bed, one bath could be a challenge for a family, but definitely a starter home or a great investment if you can get the numbers to work.
right. And look at your taxes are only about $1,400 a year, so just over $100 a month for taxes. That's you can't really beat that.
It does surprise me, kind of data that you showed right there. It does kind of see that the tax value is so low on it.
Yeah, and it looks like you had the biggest jump after 2023 when they did that reassessment here in
Yeah,
Iredell County.
did it sell and they reevaluated, or did they just reevaluate?
Let's see.
No,
Listed for
removed.
rent, removed.
Okay, so this was a real
So it was
estate rental at some
last sold in 2005.
that you got to kind of due diligence. Scroll up there. That the rental rate is way far gap comparatively to what they had it listed for rent.
Yeah.
Might
And
want
I
to
mean, just look at this graph and see how much of a change happened after 2020, 2021.
oh, for sure.
Those prices really just kind of off, even for these smaller homes.
Supply and
Kind of
demand, right?
interesting.
Many of your
Yeah,
clients are seeing that, right? Like they just, especially for that first time home buyer area, it's just so tight. But Trotman is a great area.
it
It
really is.
really is.
It's actually, they've been growing. Like, I think in the last 4 years, I saw that they've had over 80% growth in the area.
Years ago, I had an opportunity to buy a big parcel of land in Troutman, and I should have done it. It would turned out to be really good value up there.
Big parcel, as in like acres or like plus.
5 plus. It was a really nice parcel too, and I just was 10 years ago, and I didn't know that it would develop like it has. But Troutman has really turned into a great area, like you said, with the access to 77. You know, move easily on that kind of east side of town where they have
Hmm.
those things, and it leaves the west side of town to be kind of a quiet little neighborhood that you'd really like to be a part of, right? They have great walking trails, all those things. I really like that area.
Yeah, and it looks like they've actually done a lot of updates to this house. Put in a new roof, new exterior doors, new LVP flooring. So this home has pretty much been touched all throughout, even though it's an older home. Um, you tell they actually spent a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of care in maintaining this home and putting it together for the next person. All right, next one we'll check out is on Cornelius Road. This one is 996 Cornelius.
Beautiful.
So the coolest thing I liked about this one was it's actually priced $60,000 under the tax value.
Oh, wow.
So not only do you get yours with an updated house, but you also get good amount of savings on the current tax value.
Wow. It does, it really looks nice. Like the tile work.
Yeah, I like how they did the tile in the bathroom with the contrast of the tile and the color gives it a big boost in my opinion. So yeah, I thought this one would be interesting mostly because of the price, right? This one
Sure.
your what is it? Your yearly taxes for this one are 29.26 and this one's just under $200 a square foot.
And it's all, it looks renoed, right? You definitely want to
Yeah,
do and do things, but to Trey and get him to take you through it, but it definitely looks like it's been renovated for sure to the nines.
which I'm surprised that it sat for 144 days, being 60 grand under tax value. And it just says it's 90% more likely to sell than others nearby. I think that's due to the price. Obviously been updated. It's far under tax value. Good amount of savings there. No HOA will save you a ton of money.
Some
So outside
headaches,
of city
right?
taxes. Yeah,
Yeah,
and some headaches.
headaches, some
That's the
headaches.
truth. You know about the headaches.
Oh, for sure. Had my fair share of HOA discussions. I really like that thing. I think the key to all these is to get with a realtor. We just so happen to have one here hosting the show. Get with a realtor and go check them out, right? It's great to all day sit on Zillow and dream of what you need to dream, but you really got to get out there and go through a bunch of stuff if you're interested in buying it. And boots on the ground and see what you like, see what you don't like. Maybe then you get some answers of why properties are priced like they are or they aren't, and try to get a heartbeat on what you're doing,
Yeah,
especially
and
for the
it's
first timer,
super interesting you
right?
say that, because the photos almost always, this is just my opinion, I always think the photos look about 20% better than it does in real life.
Yeah.
Always seem to do a really good job of making them look incredible, but until you actually put eyes on it and like you said, boots on the ground, you really don't know for sure.
I had a mentor very younger, 20, probably 25 years ago, and he was a mountain land realtor. And I would call him all the time with these properties that I found through perusing the internet. And he cured me of it. He's like, listen, all these pictures look great. All things, sometimes they don't look great. You
Hmm.
have to go walk and you have to go see what it is, put your hands on it, see what it looks like, get some of your people to look at it, your real estate agent, maybe a home inspector, those kind of things, and just get a good vibe of what's around and see four, five, six, 10 of them if you have to,
Yeah.
right? To get a vibe of what is next. I think sometimes people underestimate $425,000 is a lot of money,
Yeah.
right?
To just put that out there without putting hands on it or eyes on it is, in my opinion, it's a big question mark.
Sure.
High
And you know
risk.
as anybody, and I think this is why you can advise many first-time home buyers is for younger people to
Hmm.
be able to generate the revenue for a house of $400,000 and up. So I think that's where you kind of where you could definitely help guide them through, this scarier stuff. You're their age, you're their demographic, and I think that's what's leading to your success.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate the kind words.
What else you got for us?
We'll see what's next. Next up is 846 South Magnolia 46. This one is in the heart of Mooresville. So the thing that I really liked about this house was from the exterior, you've got the traditional ranch home, ranch home. Um, when you actually look on the inside, you can tell that they put a lot of effort into making this thing look new, right? It's very modern. Love the cabinets. I love the countertop they've got here.
Two ovens there. Or is that an oven and a microwave?
Yeah, it looks to be a yeah, oven.
Yeah. Maybe it's a microwave. I can't tell really.
So I run into a lot of
Oh no,
people
they have a
that
microwave there. There's a double
specifically
oven.
like, yep, right up
Yep.
here. Yeah, they got the double oven. So, people really like that because they'll cook brownies and then they'll cook, type of normal meal as well with it. You can't always have them at the same temperature, right? If you have one oven, you're kind of with whatever temperature it needs to be on for the
Sure.
main dish.
Yep.
Having two is definitely beneficial. I
Every
love the
house I've ever
tile.
built for myself, I've always put a double oven in. Houses that I
Really
built to sell, a lot of times I've always had a single. Yeah, but every house that I've built for myself, I've put a double oven in.
interesting. Do you
Yeah.
have one currently?
No, I didn't build this house. Remember, we
Well,
bought this
I
house
know.
as a
I
rental
just
and
didn't
then
know
moved
if that
into it.
one
But
was.
yeah, no, it's a single. But every other house that I have built for myself, I've put a double oven in. Seems to keep the wife happy.
Oh yeah, happy and you're in the right. You're heading in the
Uh,
right direction.
that's right. Nice bathroom.
Yeah, it's a nice bathroom. Look at this little. They've got the dual vanity over here. I like the shower.
Yeah.
I'm not
I would have loved to seen
particularly a
granite in
huge
there.
fan. Yeah,
I would love to
agreed.
seen granite in there.
I'm not a huge fan of the tile flooring.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Well, the rest of the house looks really updated. It looks like kind of some simple things you could do there to finish it off with whatever you liked.
Look how big this primary room is.
Oh, for sure. Wow. Is that the master? That's the master suite there.
Yeah,
Once again, I would love to see a countertop. Wow. Is that the
that's
garage?
your. This is your right off your. This is your mud room.
Oh, wow.
Looks like you got your washer dryer hookup right here. Well, it looks like a mud room, right?
The wonders of
It's
Zillow.
got to be the garage, yeah. I don't see the door on it though. Where's the garage door? Yeah,
Oh,
this
beautiful.
must be that.
Florida room out back.
I like this level porch.
Sure.
Not a whole lot of steps, but pretty simple.
And you said this is in downtown Mooresville?
Yeah, this is in the heart of Mooresville.
Nice. They've really done a lot over there, kind of with revitalization of downtown, right? Area has really made a strong jump back in the last 5 years.
Absolutely. Yeah, they really tried to up the area and make it more appealing to a lot more people, especially with kind of walkability of downtown. You're seeing a lot more growth in the downtown area of Mooresville. And look at the price per square footage on this one.
Wow, yeah.
To some of these
For
other
over there, that's
ones,
pretty good. Yeah, yeah.
half an acre lot.
No HOA again.
Yep, no
Oh,
HOA.
5 days on Zillow. That won't, I don't think that'll last very long.
I agree. I think anything under $200 a square foot will turn pretty quickly.
Right. Yeah, I don't think that will last very long.
It's
Wow.
like right next to what elementary school is that?
I was very surprised. I took a ride over there a couple weeks ago, and I was back to your walkability thing. I was surprised at how Mooresville had almost become like a college town vibe, if you want
Yeah,
to put it that, right? A lot of walkability, a lot of cool little spots, some good eating places, great barbecue joint downtown, right? Standards are still there, the pawn shop, and a few of those other things, but the amount of eating options and the amount of things to do downtown Mooresville has exploded with they put up that pavilion amphitheater that they have all those free concerts in. Like downtown Mooresville as a whole, which kind of a little distressed for a period of time there,
hmm
really made an insurgence.
Yeah, I think this area will continue to bloom in the next years as businesses come to the area and more people are coming to this area mostly for Charlotte because less than an hour, but you're also really close to the lake. So we typically see this area grows pretty quickly. All right, we'll check out the next one. Let's see what's next. Next up, we've got 7648 Bainbridge. Oops, 7648. This one's out in Sherrill's Ford.
I like Shrillsford. I actually have a condo over in Shrillsford. I like that rent out. I like that area. It's really up and coming too, right? Like
Yes.
never thought that would be. Never thought that you would see the additions with the Chick-fil-A's and the there's a grocery
Starbucks.
store over there. I think too right now, a big grocery store. I can't remember the name of it right this moment, but um, kind of again eating establishments and talk about an area that gives you that country vibe, but is not quite out in the country, right?
Yeah,
These small subdivisions out there, it's still or beside right there on 150 and kind of Ridge Road intersection. Beside that, man, it's a really nice place. It's kind of a
it
similar
really
version of
is.
Troutman, maybe a little more rural
Yeah,
than Troutman,
yeah.
to be honest.
That's almost like another Troutman. Yeah, just I'm 20 minutes away from Troutman.
And we're pushing so far, right, because of our expansive growth that these quaint little towns, they have to develop. There's just no more room, right?
Yep.
So it's kind of what's pushing to.
Yeah, and this one is actually a new build. So
Oh
this one
wow.
is under construction if it's not already completed. 73 a square foot, $90 HOA.
Do you usually advise your clients on new build? Do you attack new builds differently than what I know a lot of times as a guy that built quite a few homes himself in the past? I know dealers would or builders would oftentimes offer a lot of incentives, maybe some
Right.
special finances. Do you have a playbook that you try to use when you're attacking new home builds with clients?
I would say if you're not already pre-approved or if you don't mind shopping around, if you're gonna decide to go with a new builder, one of the best things you can do is to use their preferred lender because that way they usually will give you as many incentives as they can offer.
Nice.
A lot of times you'll get like a flex cash bonus or you'll get a kitchen upgrade or vanity upgrades, give you a few choices. And they can do that because they obviously, by having the lender side of things, able to get that on the long term, right?
Sure.
And able to, some more in the short term for that.
I know that I used to offer a lot of incentives when I built homes, so I figured as realtors usually they have a playbook for what they like to do toward to new builds. There seems to be a little more wiggle room a lot of times with contractor, and it's had a few days on market, maybe, right? How many days on
Yeah,
market do we have here?
yeah, absolutely. This one is 42 days on the market.
42. What is average days on market right now? Do you know?
Yeah, right now it's sitting around 65, 69. It really depends on pricing, right? If you price it right, then it'll sell quickly. You can sell it still within 4 weeks or less. Just really driving home that pricing it right is the key, right? Because if you overprice it, you're going to end up dropping it down to where it finally gets to equilibrium, right? The market will only take what it can take. And if you've been sitting, usually I tell my people if you've been sitting for 3 weeks with no showings, time to drop the price and just get serious about what the home's worth. Because yeah, you can always attempt to try to get a little bit more than it's worth. Your best long-term play is to be on the market as short of a period as a time as you can, just so that you're not having to give a ton of concessions and stuff like that. Lower your price crazy. It's
Sure. That's good stuff. That's good tips.
a nice house.
That is
They
nice.
don't quite have a tax value for this one yet because it's not hasn't been assessed, but we'll see.
I promise you they'll assess it. They don't let any slip through the cracks these days.
Oh, I know, yeah. They love to assess. Yeah, so we actually ran out of time on this one. We only got through about 5 of them. But tune in next week and we'll check out the other 5 and we'll go through them. Need anything? My name is Trey Hamrick with Titan Realty. Feel free to give me a call, 704-883-6527. I'd love to be your Lake Norman expert.